Boom, there we go.
I don't know if you saw me. I was like, "Ooh, that's nice." I
I
like
know.
the change up of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, it's a whole little new system of stuff going on here. So,
It's looking good,
yeah,
Chris.
there we go. Yeah, as I'm trying to figure out some of our new configurations here. But it's like, I got to recalibrate the timing of things.
New season, new configurations, new name, all the things.
All the things, all the things. So welcome everybody to another episode of the Song Swap Showdown. I am one of your hosts, Chris Vaglio, and I am joined by my amazing co-host, the ever so just sunny and positive, Amanda Sharp.
Ridiculously crazy Amanda Sharp. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. Good morning. And once again, good morning to all of you. Thank you all for spending some time with us today as we do another episode of the Song Swap Showdown. We appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out and watching us live here on Mondays at 8:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But of course, if you can't catch the live show, you can always catch the replay anywhere you get podcasts, and you can watch full episodes on YouTube as well as highlight videos there as well. And if this is your first time checking out the show, well, let me tell you how the show normally works. Amanda and I will select 3 songs each that we don't think the other has heard before, and we will then rate those songs on an ever so complicated sliding scale of 1 to 5 records, with 1 being a complete dumpster fire of a song. Just not good. Just not we're not feeling it.
It
All
should
the
live
way.
anywhere.
Yeah, should live nowhere, should be actually taken off Spotify. I don't know, whatever. All the way up to 5 records being heaven to our ears.
It never gets old.
New sound effects for season 3.
Never gets old.
You know. So, by the way, if this is your first time checking out the show, Amanda and I like to laugh a lot at our own jokes. Just saying. Yeah. Then Dave Mattingly checking in on the live feed. Sad trombone is sad. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Good morning, Dave.
Thank you for checking in. And if you want to join us here on the live show, feel free to do that. We are on Facebook and Twitch, so you can always join in, throw comments, razz us, whatever you want. World is your oyster.
Yeah, we're here for it. We're here for it.
We are here for it. So, Amanda Sharp,
Chris,
what is today's theme?
Today's theme, and this is a recommendation from one of our Facebook group members, Ashley Feller, because she had came in and said one of the great things that we should do would be underrated songs of the 80s.
I know.
And I was here for it.
Well, I knew you would definitely be there for it, considering, yes, the 80s is like your thing, for sure. And I love the 80s too. I mean, listen, you and I both grew up in the 80s for sure. I mean, that's, a lot of my formative years were forged in the 80s.
And, I have to say, though, this was a hard list to create because I guess I realized in my head, I thought all 80s songs were just rocking. And so to find some that I thought were actually underrated or I had never actually even heard of before, and it helped me discover a song or two, which was great. But it was hard.
No, it was very hard. It was super difficult to do. We will absolutely be doing parts 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of this because my list was so long. And here's the other thing. And Johnny Pica checking in with underrated ? That's hard. Exactly, Johnny. It's like there's songs that you go, wait a second, I think this is underrated, and you go and you're like, wait, it actually isn't because it has like a million listens on like Spotify. So I don't know if it's so underrated,
I know. I dove into it with like really great anticipation, like, ooh, slam dunk. But I was like, no, because what is underrated?
Yeah, what is exactly underrated? And my wife is also a big, like, she loves 80s and all that, and we actually have very similar music taste, and so we were going together and like talking about songs, and I was literally going like, what about this song? And playing, I'm like, is this underrated? Like, and then she kept saying, well, what's really underrated? And I go, I don't know, is it a deep album cut? Was it released as a single, but kind of didn't, like, the criteria is actually mind-numbing. So I finally ditched the criteria, and I just went with, like, I think these songs, I think they are released as singles, possibly. And you know what? I'm just gonna go with it. Or maybe these are just underrated songs by a band. I started going down that rabbit hole a little bit, so
Okay.
that's kind of where I was living. And I mean, I did. I came up with a list of so many songs, and I wanted to make it for you a little fun and a little diverse from song to
Hmm.
song too. So I did put some thought into my playlist. It wasn't willy nilly.
As our shows never are. Ooh, that's such a good point, Johnny. He said overrated may have been easier. And you know what? I'm writing that down because what a great theme
Yeah, that is a good
of
theme.
a
Really good
show for
theme.
the future. So thank you for that,
Yeah.
Johnny.
And Dave Mattingly, I could give you hundreds of forgotten or unknown 80 songs. And I bet you could, Dave. I know you can. I know you can. But hey, so yeah, if you're watching the live feed and you want to participate, let us know. Throw on some songs that you think are underrated, for sure. Let us know what songs you think from the 80s are underrated. Throw them in on the chat. We'll bring them up. I do know people are also participating in our Facebook group, which was
Hmm.
kind of cool. So we got some really cool song suggestions there. So we'll share those a little bit later on as we go on to the show, just to clue you in on what some of the folks were throwing in there in our Facebook group. But speaking of the Facebook group, if you want to join that, feel free to do it. It's completely free to join. Show Swap Showdown. Triple S, the Triple S backstage pass Facebook group. Please feel free to join us over there. I'm a little tongue tied today. You know what? It's because the Giants won yesterday, and I'm like super psyched about it.
That's
But
right.
yeah, please feel free to join us in there. It is free. We would love to have you in there. We have a lot of fun. We post a lot of questions and comments like that. So, without any further ado, Amanda Sharp, let's kick this off.
Do it.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead. So you're going to start with my first song to you, which is?
Which is Starry Eyes by Motley Crue, which incidentally, perfect timing because I just recently did a reel yesterday morning with one of their songs.
You did.
Woo! Woo! Okay. This beginning is fantastic. So, listen. What was the other song that we featured by Motley Crue before?
Oh man,
Help me out. We've done several.
Yeah,
or a
we've done. I
couple.
think we did. Did we do?
I should have looked at the list.
Oh my gosh, I'm blanking out too. I'm
But-
pretty sure I gave you something off of Shout at the Devil. May have been Shout at the Devil.
I feel like, and I did not care for it,
Oh, it could have been.
if I'm remembering correctly.
I'm gonna have to go back and look. Listen to us. We've done so many songs we can't even really remember
know.
anymore.
It was really early on when my taste had not quite transitioned into open-mindedness. Let's be fair about that.
We'll
And
be
so-
fair about it.
When this kicked on, or when it ended up on my list, I was like, oh, another Motley Crue song. And it started, I was like, ooh, I'm thinking I'm liking this. I really dig this song, Chris Baglio. Yes,
Wow,
I
I'm
do. Yes,
surprised.
I love the lyrics.
Okay.
I really love the intro. It's been added to my play. In fact, I created a whole new playlist because of this song.
What?
Yes, it is the working playlist.
Wow. The working playlist.
The working playlist. Because I'm like, this is a good. I mean, I guess it's more of a love song, right? But
Well,
it's got some oomph to it.
it's I mean, listen, it's one of these songs. Like I listen to this song, and this song just sounds like L.A. to me. It sounds like L.A. 1980s Sunset Strip, like
Sure.
completely like a little bit of that L.A. sleaze in there. Like it just is.
LA
I don't know.
sleaze.
It personifies the LA strip, I feel like, this song. And like, listen, Motley Crue were like the LA like strip, like the rock sleaze band. And this was off their first record, Too Fast for Love, which is like a phenomenal debut record. But yeah.
So Amanda became a fan of Motley Crue through the LA sleaze. I don't know what this says to me. the LA sleaze scene.
Yeah. But I mean, it's kind of like, it's like, I like this because it does kind of tell a story a little bit, and it feels like that, like kind of like that LA, Hollywood story type of thing, like gonna come to LA and be a big thing, it's like, it kind of has like a it's a bit of that Hollywood myth fable type of a feel to it, So I don't know, that's why. But it's like perfect. It's perfect Motley Crue.
It's really great. And I just want to verify, just in case there's some confusion about the channel that I created or the playlist that I created. It is not the Amanda Workout playlist. It is just the Amanda Work playlist. I just wanted to let there be no
Or it could
confusion.
be the Amanda Workout playlist.
If I worked out, it definitely probably would be on that playlist. But since I don't, but I really, really dug it. I had never heard it before. That probably is a surprise to no one who's listening, but I really dug it. And get ready for this, Chris Baglio. And I could be wrong in the future, but I think I'm right. I'm giving this 5 records.
Did you just give a Motley Crue song 5 records?
I'm shocking myself.
Wow.
I am shocking
5.
myself. Yes, I don't know what it is about this song. I just felt very, very connected to it. I know.
That's an interesting statement.
Try to dissect this, listeners. I mean, what's going on?
Yeah.
So I don't it doesn't even make sense why it would be 5 records, because it's not quite like the hits that we have so graciously giving other 5 record rankers. But this it didn't feel like a 4 record to me. I was really feeling it. So 5 records.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Straight out of the gate.
What a way to kick off the show. Starry Eyes by Motley Crue, 5 records by Amanda Sharp. That makes that have tears.
I mean, who thought an underrated song would get a 5 record?
Look at you. Look at you. Man, 3 seasons of doing the show. I have definitely had an effect on you.
This has surely been
phenomenal. Phenomenal.
You surely have. So thank you for that gift of this song.
You are welcome. Thank you for the gift of 5 records. So John Pica telling us he thought of a song. So he goes, okay, I thought of one, Rhythm of Love by Yes. Great song, awesome radio cut that none of my friends remember. Yeah, you're right. That is a good song, man. That would be definitely classified as an underrated song for sure. That's a good one. Good call.
I don't know if I know it.
Oh, you'll have to check that out.
I'm going to check it out.
Check it out. And Randall, check it in. Good morning, my friend. Yes, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. And once again, if anybody else who's watching or the live stream wants to check in and let us know what is an underrated 80s song that you feel like, everybody should have been into and just didn't get into it, or it was released as a single and kind of fell flat. I don't know, whatever your criteria, your individual criteria of underrated is, let us know in the comments below what you feel like is an underrated 80s song. All right, moving on to your pick for me. This was actually, I was into the song, and I gotta be honest with you, I had not heard this song. And I mean, I was like, how did this song escape me? Because I fell in love with this song, like instantly. I mean, so the song I'm talking about here is Belinda Carlisle, Nobody Owns Me. I mean, what a rockin' tune. Like, way more like rockin' than I thought it was going to be.
This is no Heaven Place on Earth, right?
No. And this is off that record.
Yep.
But
it's great.
The song instantly is like making play. I mean, I really dug this song. I mean, great chorus. It's just awesome. And I love Belinda Carlisle because I love the Go-Go's, right? And I was kind of into her solo career. I mean, it was a little more poppier, but she's always been in love with her voice. And I don't know how I did not, because I don't have this record. I don't have Heaven on Earth as a full record. But man, what a rockin' song, and this I love it. It's great. It's a great song. So I'm really digging it a lot. I think it's very cool. And I will probably make a radio station on this song. I'm thinking I'm gonna fool around with it. I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go crazy with it and see.
Us this morning.
We're going nuts. Season 3, going nuts.
Man, we thought season 1 and 2 were fabulous.
Yeah.
What? Watch out, everybody.
But It's just a cool it's a cool song, and I like that it's more rocking, a little more edgy,
Mhm.
going back to her Go-Go's, sort of like her Go-Go's
Yeah.
were a little more punk. This actually felt a little more like, like 80s like hard rock,
Mhm.
which was kind of cool. So yeah, I agree with your assessment of this being an underrated song because it was not on my radar. So 1,000% underrated, and now it has seen the light of day, at least in my, in my little slice of heaven. And I dig it. So I'm gonna give this song. I don't know if it's a quite a 5 record song for me,
Fair.
but I really like it a lot. So I would give my initial rating on this was a 4, but as I listened to it more and more, and even just listening to it now again when
Uh-huh.
I just played it and like came in through the headphones, I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, what a great intro! Like it gets me right into it. So I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
Ooh, I
4.5
love it.
records
I
for
love
Belinda
it.
Carlisle's "Nobody Owns Me." What a song!
What a song. I think the fact that like Starry Eyes and then this could play literally right after it, and you would feel like the same station. That's remarkable, is it not?
It is remarkable, and they would fit in.
They
Like
would.
they would fit in. Like you could go
Like
either
boom to
way.
boom, and
Yeah.
nobody would be none the wiser that it wasn't. I don't know if they would realize it was her.
I mean, I think Belinda Carlisle is a very distinct voice. Like to
Fair.
me, I hear and you're like, that's Belinda Carlisle. I mean, that's my assessment. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way, but I think that once again, growing up in the '80s and the Go-Go's being as
Yeah.
massive as they were, like I feel like that you would know Belinda's voice and pick it out from a crowd for sure.
Let us know. Let us know, listeners.
Let us know. We want to know. Oh, and by the way, and if you're not, once again, if you're not watching the live feed, which we know many people cannot always get to do,
Mhm.
considering we're on Mondays at 8:15 a.m. You can also let us know by giving us a call on our hotline at 973-506-8009, 973-506-8009. Let us know what is an underrated 80s song that you feel like deserves to be heard by everyone. Or you could join our Facebook group, once again, at the Song Swap Showdown backstage group for free right now. Use the link in our bio and let us know there too. We got some posts we're always posting in there, and we'd love for you to join us in the Song Swap Showdown backstage group. All right. Oh, we got some comments real quick. So we got a lot of long comments. So we're
Boy,
going to
do
go through
we
these.
got
We'll go through
comment.
these quickly. Ashley, Betty Mardone's "Into the Night," totally underrated song. You know what? I don't know that song, Ashley, so I'm gonna check that out. Dave Mattingly with a long list of stuff, so we're gonna go through this a little bit, and then we're gonna keep on going with the show. But he's got just with the A through M's, no artist repeats. Adam Ant, Puss in Boots, Billy Bragg, to the New Brunette, Greetings to the New Brunette. Book of Love, Witchcraft, Burning Sensations, Belly of the Whale, China Crisis, King in a Catholic Style Classic Novo, Guilty Coolies, Ice Cold Soul Cucumbers, My Boyfriend, Dead or Alive, Cake, sorry, My Boy, Dead or Alive, Cake and Eat It, Depeche Mode, Ice Machine, Duran Duran, Lonely in Your Nightmare, Eurythmics, I Did It Just for the Same, Fishbone, Ma and Pa, Funboy 3, Lunatics have Lunatics have taken over. Sorry about that, Dave. It was like cutting it off. He's got more too, so we'll keep going throughout the show. We're gonna come back to that. But yes, everybody's
Hi.
checking in with some more comments. We'll get back to the
Woo!
comments. Keep putting them in there. Amanda Sharp, number 2.
Number 2, 5150 by Van Halen. Okay. Listen, I didn't even know that this was the name of the record too. Am I right on that? Like, what a
It is.
name. Like,
It
just
is.
what is 5150? What's the
It's the police code for criminally insane.
Oh, I should have known that then.
This is the first Van Hagar record, by the way. Like, so it's Van Halen, but it's the first record with Sammy Hagar as the lead singer, who replaced David Lee Roth after David Lee Roth left the band in 1985. So this was huge because Van Halen was pretty much the biggest American rock band in the world after just coming off of 1984 with Jump and Panama and all the songs everybody knows. gigantic world tour, and then David Lee Roth decides to leave the band, and they're like, what? And then they get a second singer, and that would be Sammy Hagar, and boy, oh boy, released in 1986. This record had some really good hits on it, because it was like, oh my God, are they going to not come back? Are they going to be like, are they going to be able to do that? I mean, it's so hard to come back with a new singer. I feel like this is a very underrated song on this record, and it's got a great big chorus, great guitar solo.
I feel like.
So Amanda Sharp, what is your rating? 5 records? I'll take it. Thank you very much.
All right. So we have discussed this in previous episodes that it's all in the lineup and when it gets batched and booked with, right? Because maybe it would have been a 4 record in a different show against a different lineup that you gave me. Might not be the same because I'm comparing it to other songs, which is unfair of me, but it just happens. It really happens. So this was my least favorite of the songs you gave me, and your joy in your face is just so happy. I feel really bad saying these words out loud.
No, it's okay. It's all right.
But I really enjoy the lyrics of this song, though.
The lyrics are really good.
Really, really good. I really love, my favorite line is, take the highs with the blues.
Yep.
Because you can't have the highs without those blues in any relationship. Listen, was it terrible? No. And I'm going to go back to my skippage meter, right? Like there's that skippage meter.
Right, the skippage meter.
Which, am I going to go out of my way to skip this? No. But if I'm driving in my car and all I got to do is like move my finger over and, you know what I mean? Like I may not. Probably depends on the mood I'm in. I just didn't love it, but I didn't hate it.
Okay, all right.
So I wouldn't get out of my seat to skip it, right? Mm-hmm. But if I was like within a finger reach of it, it could happen.
Okay, all right.
Depending on the mood. So with that being said, I don't think it's a terrible rating, but I'm going to give it a 3 record, which isn't terrible. I know it's no 4 or 5.
It's not terrible.
But
it's middle of the road.
It's middle of the road.
It's middle of the road.
And I kind of just feel like that's where this song landed. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't terrible. So I'm sorry if I disappointed you.
You did not disappoint me because I feel like I used all my superpowers on Starry Eyes.
Fair. Very fair. And if y'all are just listening, maybe hop over to the YouTube and see Chris's joy when he's playing the song and singing it. And so that makes my 3 records a little like sad, but I stand by my 3 records, but I didn't mean it to hurt your feelings.
You did not hurt my feelings. Did not hurt my feelings.
So 5150 Van Halen. 3 records. There we go.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. I will take your 3 records.
How you're welcome just doesn't seem fitting right now. So,
so by the way, if you want to listen, I mean, obviously you can go and find these songs yourself and listen to them on Spotify, or anywhere else you listen, whatever other music service you have. But at the Chris and Amanda Show, we use Spotify. So we have, every year we do the show, we have a running playlist of the songs that we discuss. So there's a 2021, there's a 2022, and there's now a 2023. So you can check out the Song Swap Showdown 2023 playlist right now on Spotify, where we put all the songs that we discuss, rate, and review on the show, including these 6 songs that we are talking about today. You can head over there and check those out. Use the link in our show notes or wherever. Just go to Spotify, search Song Swap Showdown 2023 playlist, and you will get there. So more friends checking in here with some more underrated songs. Candy, Dancing Under a Latin Moon, as coming in from Randall, checking in with that one. I'm unfamiliar with that one as well. Hey. I will have to check that out. I will check that out. And Billy Thorpe checking in with Children of the Sun, by Billy Thorpe, technically released in 1979.
Is this true?
There is another Billy Thorpe artist. So.
Oh, I was like, Billy, you just do everything.
Unless Billy actually did record a song called "Children of the Sun."
Could you imagine? Yeah. We have a really talented pool of friends.
We do. Oh, and then so part 2 of Dave Mattingly's post here. So we got Nick Kershaw, Gone to Pieces, Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark, Electricity Pearl Harbor, Flirt Polecats, Make a Circuit. Oh, Make a Circuit with Me. Make a Circuit with. Sorry, Flirt Polecats, Make a Circuit with Me. Police, Invisible Sun, Pretenders, Boots of Chinese.
These
Boots of
names.
Chinese, Plastic Primitives, Noose Psychic TV, Meet Every Situation Head On, Remy Zero, Prophecy, Shonen Knife, Twist Barbie, Susie and the Banshees, Peekaboo, Smithereens, Groovy Tuesday, Steve Kilby, Guilty, Suzanne Vega, Blood Makes Noise, Talking Heads, and She Was, Tears for Fears. I'm going to go change 10 poll, I think. I'm not sure. Sorry, Dave. I'm sorry if I screwed something up because the way it
Wait,
it's
I'm
all like
screwed.
there's
Yeah.
not a lot of spaces there, but thank you. And
Oh
Billy Thorpe, not
my
me,
God.
just a one-hit wonder from an Australian rock star.
You could have had me convinced though, Billy.
Yeah, seriously. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you all so much for checking in. Please keep letting us know what are some other
This is
underrated
fun.
songs that from the 80s that you feel like we should all know about. All right. Amanda Sharp, your second song to me, no shocker, because I don't feel like there's a show that doesn't go by where you can't not give me Dolly Parton.
Gosh, I just love her so much. Dolly, if you're listening, I heart you so much.
This is true, Dolly Parton. She does heart you. I heart you too, Dolly Parton, but not
Yes.
as much as Amanda Sharp does. So I liked this song. I like the shuffle of the song. Amanda, you are, and the thing is, I've always had so much respect for Dolly Parton. Like, really, like, she's a legend who's like, she's a living legend. But I will say, I didn't know what to expect with this song. I turned it on. I was like, oh, this is a really nice little, like, shuffle here. I dig this. I dig this. So, I did a little research here. And so, Heartbreak, because I don't always know, like, what, once again, errors of things. And I
Mm-hmm.
felt like I knew this was obviously 80s, but, like, where in the spectrum of country.
Mm-hmm.
So this was actually released off Heartbreak Express record of the same title in 1982. And according to songfacts.com, Dolly Parton, the song is an upbeat tale of romantic woe. Dolly Parton says so long to a love gone wrong and escapes on a train called, you guessed it, a Heartbreak Express. The title track of her 24th solo album. I just want to say,
Say
so
that again.
by 1982, this was her 24th solo album. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
It peaked at number 7 on the country chart, and according to Dolly, the song is saying, I just got to get up, get on this train, and get out of here. I've got to move on down the line and get right out of this heartache. And this was written, this record and this song was written at a time when, Dolly Parton was going through some personal stuff in her life, and she had just started the 80s actually on a high note because if you remember, she was in the Smash film, which by the way is a fantastic film. If you haven't watched in a while, it still holds up. I still think it's very funny, which is 9 to 5. And she also wrote the theme song to that, which was a #1 hit. So, go back and watch 9 to 5 because it is a great ensemble. It's a funny movie. And Dabney Coleman is just outrageous as the boss who they all like go. It's really a great like comedy troupe. So regardless, let me get back to the song that we're talking about, Heartbreak Express. I like this song. How country is oftentimes out of my sort of comfort zone but that's what the show's about because you go out of your comfort zone as well. So that's what makes this show. So I'm gonna give this song a 3.5. I don't know if I would necessarily once again, I don't know if I would put it on, but I did enjoy it. I thought it was a fun, nice little shuffle. And this is why I like listening to our playlists of the songs because I do like sometimes how something like Starry Eyes or even some of the heavier stuff I give you're 50 and then all of a sudden this comes on and it's it's so funny because it's such an abrupt shift in tone, but I
It is.
enjoy that because it makes it a little unpredictable and then I go, oh wow, I remember really liking that song. So
Mhm.
but I'm gonna give it a 3.5. It's a cool tune. I love the shuffle of it. I really do. It's like which I know is the Heartbreak Express, and she's getting on the train, so
Mhm.
it's got that feel to it. So definitely, I dug the song. It's cool. So 3.5 for me on this one.
I like that. So is it fair to say how Chris often says a song is a nice little ditty? Is this the country version of a ditty is a shuffle?
I would say it's a nice ditty. It is a ditty. And I know, listen, I do think it's a ditty because it's a fun song, and while maybe, well, in my eyes, it's not like this massive hit or like is gonna stay in my forever. It's got a good catch to it, so there's a nice little hook to it and all that. And I think the shuffle of the train, the way she sings, I don't know. It's Dolly Parton too, so it's like it's just. So yeah, I would say it's definitely a country ditty.
I enjoy the country ditties.
The country ditties.
Especially, and I love all things Dolly. I don't think I've ever heard a Dolly song that I do not like.
I don't think you have either.
Like, I believe that to be true.
I totally believe that to be true. Dave Mattingly saying, Amanda, check out Strawberry Switchblade's 80s cover of Jolene.
Ooh, I love that song.
I know
so
you
much,
do.
as we've previously discussed on an episode. Probably several times. All right. So kicking her off with Chris's song number 3 to me. Not kicking her off, finalizing here. Let's get my everything correct. A Girl Like You by the Smithereens.
The Smithereens.
Smithereens. So I feel this one. Yeah, like there's a more serious, like I feel like you could see me walking down the street with like in some black.
I want to see that reel.
Like
where you're like
just kind of like instead of my bopping, I'm like yeah, like
you're walking down Main Street, Ida.
The 40, like yeah, that's me. Mm-hmm. Like I feel it.
You feeling it?
I feel it. Yeah. Like
you got this.
I do. I'm feeling it.
It's got a good pop, right?
Yeah, but it's like almost like a little like
just to win the love of a girl like you.
Yeah. Like yeah, here it comes. Like it's also on my playlist now.
Yeah. Here comes Amanda walking down the street.
Just like a little like like just like that.
Right.
Where, otherwise it'd be downtown, like not that
downtown.
Yeah, this is just that, like, if I'm in that mood, which I'm not necessarily always in,
right.
But if I'm in that, like, oh, here I come, watch out, friends. So I really like the lyrics again of the song. I like the tone of the song. I like the tune of the song. The singing was just at the right level for me. It wasn't like aggressive.
It wasn't aggressive. Super aggressive.
It wasn't super aggressive though. It was perfect. It's it's like a different version of Uptown Girl.
But way better. And not as corny.
Yes, not as corny. But I could kind of see like the same kind of like video. I don't know.
I love to see, like, I'd want to see the video at Amanda's head to Girl Like You, but done Uptown Girl style music video.
That's kind of in my head. Yeah. Like there could be some old time cars around. Like yeah, like with yes.
And then, but it's you walking down the street doing.
Yeah, but with like
a girl like you.
Yeah, with my boots on instead of high heels. Because that's what we do around here. So I mean, if all stars aligned and that happened, I wouldn't be angry about it.
Right. Okay.
All right. So long story to get to a rating, but
right.
I'm giving this one 4 records, which I think is good, right?
I think it's very good. This song just comes in right under the radar it comes in at the very end of the 80s. Released in 1989 from Smithereens 11 is the name of the record. Now, I will be honest with you. We had a debate about this song because... Yeah. And,
okay.
But it wasn't a big debate, but we were trying to figure out because here's the thing. So the Smithereens here in New Jersey are kind of a big deal. They're like another like Pat Denizio. They're a Jersey-based band. Pat Denizio passed away a few years back. Staple on the New Jersey independent music scene. Like the Smithereens were like a fiercely like coming up through the 80s, like an independent band in the Jersey scene that then broke. And the songwriting's great. Pat Denizio was an awesome songwriter. So the thing is that this song, while it was a hit, I feel like it was more of a regional hit.
Okay.
I don't know. So this is what we're trying to figure out because the song charted in number 38 on the US charts, the Billboard charts. So it got out there. It was a bit of a successful single for the band. So I'm like, is it that we live in New Jersey? We've heard the song so much, like that they still play it all the time on like rock radio
Local
around here in the
channels.
area.
Sure.
That we're a little like, but was it really like a massive hit in the rest of the country? Like, does the rest of the country remember the song as well as we do? Because I feel like I still turn on the radio and it comes on constantly. So we made the decision to say, we feel like the song's underrated.
Naturally.
Because it is a really good song. And I feel like it's gotten forgotten through time. I don't know. So we put it on. That's why this was a joint decision. We put it on the list. But I definitely know you didn't know it.
I did not know
also the
it.
point of the show is that we give you songs, or I give you songs that you sometimes it's we. I give you a song that I don't think you've ever heard before, and I knew that you weren't never gonna hear this, and I felt like it fit the theme of underrated songs from the 80s. Yeah, Dave, I get it. So Dave is saying, Chris, I'm well acquainted with the full Smithereens catalog, and I knew you would be because you're into a lot of like quote unquote music that isn't like completely mainstream. And not to say that the Smithereens were like this like underground band, because they did have hits, including this one, but I don't know, like that's the thing is I don't know how the rest of the country perceived the Smithereens and then this song, A Girl Like You, which once again, hit song, but like it's not like a top 10 hit song, you know what I'm saying? Like it's number 38 is still impressive. I mean, it's top 50, but so funny fact about this song really quick is that they originally wrote this song as the theme song for Say Anything. You know the film Say Anything with John Cusack and Ione Skye?
Yes.
One of my favorite movies. You know, the whole holding the boombox up outside the window, that whole iconic moment, that Say Anything. And Pat Denizio actually ultimately withheld the song from the project after he and the film's producer disagreed on making certain changes to the song.
Oh.
So this could have been the theme song to Say Anything.
And then it wouldn't have been underrated.
Yeah.
No. Oh, man. So, for records.
I think that's respectable. I like that, though. Listen, it's a good song, right? I can't get the image of you walking downtown Ida and being like, hey, a girl like you. And you're like,
Hey.
Amanda Sharp being cool.
If there is such a thing. Oh my gosh. And I can't be cool. I'm just Amanda. Which is something.
You know what? You got your own thing.
And I feel like those that know me and love me can accept that and are aware of, like, if they saw me walking down the street doing my own thing, they're like, oh, there's Amanda. It's the people that don't know me that I don't know what they would think. They're like, who's that girl?
But then who really cares?
I agree. But to get into a neutral party brain would be interesting.
Oh, Dan Christian checking in. Yeah, yo from Deutschland. Yes. Dan made the big move to Germany. Yes, sir. Thank you for checking in. Yes, sir. Hopefully you're having a good time out there. I keep following all your pictures, buddy. Keep posting.
Same. Super fun.
Super fun. Well, thank you all so much for checking in. Please continue to let us know what are some of your underrated songs from the 80s. You can let us know here as we do the show live, or let us know on our Facebook group, the Song Swap Showdown Facebook group, which you can get into for free and access by using the link in our show notes. Amanda.
Yes.
We have one song left.
You know, I'm not regretting it because I don't have regrets. But had I chose a different song that I was gonna put on there, I think this would have been our first show we had no songs that each other had heard before. But I
Right.
know you've heard of this one.
It's hard when you give me police songs.
I know. I thought this one was a truly underrated song.
So I think that in the pantheon of police songs, it's possibly overrated. I mean, it was a huge hit, but it was a huge hit though. It
See, I
was
guess
it
in my
reached
head, I
number
don't
8
feel it.
on the US and UK charts, and it was all over
I didn't realize
MTV.
it was that high.
It was over MTV, so it's a top 10 hit.
Oh, I failed this song then, guys.
Well,
Sorry.
but here's the thing. I think as far as police songs go, it's not my favorite police song. I tend to think that this gets a little bit more into like that Sting solo stuff, which I'm not 100% a fan of. Like, I think this is the most like the least sounding police song of the Police. This gets into more of like Sting in the Police territory. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
But I love this record that this is off of though, which I mean, the Police only have so many records, but I love Synchronicity. I think as far as like a final testament from the band, like Synchronicity, awesome record.
This is my favorite part.
That's a great chorus though.
Yeah. I wait so long, the anticipation for this part.
You're like the people on TikTok who listen to music on TikTok. They're like, they just know the one part of the song and then they're out. Yeah.
Yes.
You're
And
like,
Marcus-
and then I'm out.
Marcus goes, how do you know this song? Not this song, but of many songs. And I go, TikTok, TikTok. He's like, so you know like 15 seconds of a lot of songs. I'm like, absolutely.
Absolutely. You're like the person who goes, I want to go to a show to see this one artist so I can hit the 15 seconds and then I'm out. All right, they did the part. I'm out. Goodbye.
I'm out.
That's how you are with this song. Oh, here it is. Wrapped around your finger and all right,
And
I'm
done.
good. I'm
And
done.
done. Whew. Yeah.
I'm out. But this song in particular, so I actually hadn't listened to it in a while. So this kind of made me listen to it again. It is a very well written song though, and it just, goes to show the testament of the band being able to write like hit singles and still like be relevant. I feel like today, I mean, I don't know. I mean, 2020, I don't know how many kids are listening to the Police still, but so,
Fair.
but it made me go back and watch the video too, which is very cool. So if everybody remembers the video, like Sting and the whole band, like with all the candles and the candles falling slow mo, it's actually a really cool video when you go back and rewatch it. Although, however, Andy Summer, who's guitar player for the Police, did not like this video at all. He was not happy with this video, and I don't even think he really liked the song. But but hey, Sting and the Police. So, but yeah, I mean, it's not my favorite Police song, but I think it's a very well written song. So I think there's a distinction with that. So because being a Police fan, like I prefer like the much more punkier, upbeat stuff. But like I love Synchronicity. I think it's a great record. But I love Ghost in the Machine. I think that's my favorite Police record, which has a lot of the big songs on it that like. Everything Little Things She Does Is Magic and Spirits in the Material World, like such great songs. But I don't want to. I want to judge the merit of this song as a really well written song, even though it's
Okay.
I don't know, it's hard. I don't want to go down too much of a rabbit hole, but I'm going to give it 4 records because I feel like it deserves. I feel like it deserves 4 records.
Okay.
I kind of want to give it a 3, but I'm letting my emotions dictate the quality of the song. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it deserves to be 3 records. I think it deserves to be 4 records because it is a well-written song. It was obviously very popular. It's not my favorite, but me personally, it's not my favorite of the Police songs.
That is, I do believe, fair.
So so I'm trying to be objective and fair here with the quality of the song, and that it is a 4. I give it a 4 records. Now, is it underrated? I don't know, because it did do pretty well on the charts, but maybe it's an underrated Police song in the sense that I don't know where it ranks on a lot of people's lists of the Police, which should be an interesting question to put into the group.
Mhm.
Where does this rank in your police? If you were a fan of Police, does this rank in your top Police songs by the band, or is this kind of like, it's good, it's not my favorite, I wouldn't turn it off. I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't think I would skip it. Like, it's definitely not skippable. It comes on, I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
it's a
Mhm.
good song. But I don't know if it would make my if I made a top 10 list of Police songs, this wouldn't be on it. Therefore, therefore, I give it four. I'm going to give it 4 records though, because
I receive that.
it is a well written song, just isn't my favorite. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. It does make sense. And
Yeah.
to be honest, I didn't know it actually ranked that high. I don't know how I missed that.
But it's okay, Amanda.
I know. Well, so this is the thing. Back in my hardware days, because we all know Amanda had hardware days. When I worked at the store, we listened to a radio station that had like all of this type of music, and it was all music that was kind of underrated. And so
Light FM.
yeah, and so when I heard this, I was like, it was on that channel. It's underrated. But I enjoyed working to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It had a flow of me like pricing and putting, pricing and putting.
I mean, it's a cool, it's an interesting song when you listen to it. And there's a lot of cool
Mhm.
like guitar effects,
Yeah.
and there's some interesting percussion going. Like, it's an interesting layered song when you really really listen to it. And I think that definitely goes once again to the quality of like the songwriting of the Police,
Mhm.
and how talented these guys were, and the different things that they brought to the table. And obviously Sting was already trending, and I mean, at this point, these guys, even though they loved each other, they also hated each other. So there's definitely very strong creative minded individuals who like could make really good music together, but didn't enjoy the process of making music together because they all just had different personalities. And
Yeah.
this was like, and this is why, like, the last Police record was in 1983, and because it just got to a point, and Sting wanted to do his thing of what he
Mhm.
heard in his head, and so you have just 3 incredibly intense musicians who just want to do their thing, and
Mhm. That would
sometimes it
have to
works and
be
sometimes it doesn't.
very hard.
I would think. I mean, hence why they broke up,
Yeah.
or didn't do any new music, because they
Mhm.
just couldn't. Like, it's just one of those things. Like, I love you, but I can't create with you anymore. Type of
Yeah.
thing.
When you've got 3 leaders essentially
Yeah,
versus
basically,
versus,
and
you know, the
all uber
lead.
talented.
Yeah, there's people that are excellent supporters of a leader, right? And then
Hmm.
that would be very difficult. But,
Yeah.
we didn't suffer from it.
No, we did not. We did not. And Dave Manley checking in, within my Police lineup, wrapped around your finger would be at least down in the 20s. So if he in
Okay.
his okay, hey, listen,
Okay.
it's not a cut on you.
Sure.
It's not a cut on you.
No. No, not at all.
No, not at all.
No, it's only because they have so many songs that it
It's
makes
true.
it go down there.
I mean, great point. It's because they have so many amazing songs that they've written that it actually pushes down a really well written song to the bottom of, like, think about that. They have
Yes.
so many amazing songs that they've written that really, like, one, like, somebody would kill to have a song like this
Oh
good.
my
Like,
gosh.
they have so many that this actually pushes it down the list. So that just goes to speak to the quality of the Police.
It makes me think. I don't know this, and we're probably not going to know it right this second anyway. What is the record for the person who has actually released the most songs,
The most, so is it?
like as an artist?
Are you saying most singles?
Um, I
Or
don't
like,
know how. I don't know how we could, because it maybe not. Well, I guess I'm not sure.
well, all right, hold on, let's see.
I don't know how to word that.
So, who has recorded the most songs in history? Asha Bolsey is listed in a Guinness Book of World Records as having recorded up to 11,000 solo, duet, and chorus back songs in over 20 Indian languages.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there a second runner up?
Elvis. Okay, which artist has released the most studio albums? Until his death in 1977, The King, Elvis Presley, released over
Wow.
60 albums, including numerous collections and
Mm,
soundtracks. But that
mhm.
was in May of 2015. That was
Okay.
the number one selling artist of all time. The top selling artists worldwide as of 2022
Pretty
are the
recent.
Beatles. They are top of the list for best-selling artists worldwide with over 183 million units certified sales. Second is Garth Brooks with over 157 million units
What?
sales, followed by Elvis Presley with 139 million units. That's
Garth?
of December 8th,
What?
2022.
That's so pretty recent. Very recent.
Mm-hmm.
Garth Brooks?
Yeah. And who has the number one album of all time? I don't know how old this is, though. This may not be relevant. Well, who has the number one album of all time? Michael Jackson's Thriller, estimated to have sold 7 million copies worldwide. Is the best-selling record album ever. Jackson currently has the highest number of albums on the list with 5. Celine Dion has 4, and while the Beatles, Pink Floyd, Madonna, Whitney Houston each have 3. But I don't know. I think Taylor Swift may have. I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to look at that. The longest number one album, most cumulative weeks at number one, was the Beatles with 132 weeks, and Elvis Presley with 67.
Wow, so not even close.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, such talent there.
So, I don't know. What you know what we could say is maybe most number one singles.
Look at the rabbit hole we went down. Right. Sorry, listeners, but this is good stuff. This is what you tune in for, right?
Yeah, this is exactly it. So as of December 1st, 10 artists with the most number one hits on Billboard Hot 100 chart. This is coming from thethings.com, by the way. So just real quick to go through this. Stevie Wonder has 10 hits on the charts. Janet Jackson currently holds 10 hit singles.
Okay.
So she's number 9. Number 8 on the list is Whitney Houston, has 11 hits to her name. Number 7 on the list, Madonna cracked 12 hit singles on the Billboard chart. So this is Billboard charts, by the way. Number 6, the Supremes also have 12 hits on the list. Number 5, Michael Jackson has 13 Billboard hits. Number 4, Rihanna claims 14 hit songs on the list. Number 3, Elvis Presley with 18 hit songs on Billboard. Number 2, Mariah Carey has 19 singles on the Hot 100. And number 1, the Beatles with 20 songs.
So crossed all Googling the interwebs, the Beatles just are boom, boom, boom everywhere.
Yeah, so those are, that is bands with the most number one hits on Billboard Hot 100.
Well done. Well done to them.
Thank you, interwebs.
I know. It's so nice. Remember when we wouldn't have had that information? We would have had to come prepared with it, and Amanda couldn't just ask a random question and get the answer.
Exactly. Thank you, things.com, thethings.com, for putting together that list.
We're not sponsored by them, but if they asked us to be,
but if you'd like us to, yeah, sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. What a show.
What a show indeed. We had some
good theme.
Yes, a great theme from Ashley. Thank you again. Some great ratings for some underrated songs.
Absolutely. No, really. And I know we'll definitely be bringing this back because there were so many other songs that are on my list that I just, I didn't put on. Like, I actually had maybe 3 different versions of this list. So I'm going to save those because we're definitely going to come back to this theme again. Because I thought this was a good one. And I love everybody's suggestions. And yeah, there were a bunch in the Facebook group. So before we wrap up the show, I do want to just acknowledge some of those comments that we got in our Facebook group when we asked the question to everybody, what are some songs you think are grossly underrated? And here are some of the comments we got. Eyes Without a Face by Billy Idol, which I think that's a really good Billy Idol song. Everything Your Heart Desires by Daryl Hall and John Oates. Basically, Josh Parr is saying anything by Huey Lewis in the News. No shocker there.
Wow.
Onion Skin Boom Crash Opera by Mike Carlin and Kip Adada with Wet Dream 1984. Those are some of the grossly underrated songs from the 1980s that we got. And then, of course, we were talking about some of the ones as we were going along here. Everybody was so kind to chime in. But yeah, let us know. That post is still up in the Song Swap Showdown backstage group. Let us know, what is an 80s song you think is grossly underrated. We want to know. Keep the conversation going. And we appreciate you all for hanging out with us today on another episode of the Song Swap Showdown. I'm getting there. I'm getting better with saying it.
It's such a fun title, but boy, it is a tongue
Yeah.
twister.
Yeah, it is.
Tongue twister.
And Dan Christian checking in with Bananarama was awesome. I agree. Bananarama was awesome.
Yeah. Bananarama.
Bananarama. So with that, everybody, we want to thank you all so much for hanging out with us today on another episode of the Song Swap Showdown. As we announced in our last other episode, where we are making changes to our social handles, to our website. So there are updates. They have been happening. So please take note of them. Our social feeds, our audio feeds have been updated. We will be unveiling a new logo within the next few weeks for sure. So that is coming. But it won't be too far off from what we've already had. So just to let you know, it's not that massive of a shift, but still very recognizable. But we do appreciate everybody's support. Make sure you check out the Song Swap Showdown 2023 playlist and listen to all the songs that we have talked about. That is the playlist to follow for 2023, because we do update it every single week that we do an episode of the show. And make sure you follow us over on YouTube to watch the full video version of this, as well as highlights that we create from the show and other highlights that we just, create in general. like, and then follow us on social, because then you'll miss you won't miss videos like Amanda's snow glitter video that has 10 gajillion views on it.
If you've made it this long in the episode, go to our IG or all the places, YouTube Shorts, TikTok. It's the silliest video. And yes, all the hard work that we put into other ones, mostly Chris puts into other ones. And that's the one that just boom. So silly.
Yeah. Follow us on the TikToks and the Instagrams.
Hopefully it'll make you smile.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's it has us scratching our heads going, what?
Yes. Absolutely. And make sure you remember to hit that follow button wherever you're listening or watching the show, because that does help the show grow. Really appreciate it. All right, everybody. We will see you next week. Thanks for hanging out with us. Having a wonderful week, and we will see you soon.
Bye, everyone.